Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
The fact that there wasn't any electricity.
How did he ever get that piano up in the air?
Probably has got to be Crocs.
Great place to have some good time and definitely not be cheated out of the pelts that you just got in a poker game.
That was a hippo with a quadcopter on it.
Thank you, New York, for keeping the Dark Ages alive. Hi, welcome to Comedy Parenting Radio. It's the show that uses cannon fuse for shoestrings.
Better not stand too close to the campfire.
We'd like to say hi to our new listeners from Kiev, Cape Town, and Goose Creek.
Goose Creek.
Today, we're going to be telling you guys what's been popular in the last 2,000 years. We'll be right back.
At highway speeds, the average text takes your eyes off the road for about 5 seconds. That's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop texts, stopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Comedy.
Parenting.
Radio.
Okay, you're back with Comedy Parenting Radio. What's been popular in the last 2,000 years? What about the first 100 years? 0 to 100 AD. What was popular?
Taxation.
Togas. Franklin Roosevelt.
Chariots with spikes.
Poison.
Treacherous, stabby senators.
And last but not least, the most famous of all, hippodromes.
What are those?
That was a hippo with a quadcopter on it.
What was not popular in the first 100 years?
Spaceships. Well, probably has got to be Crocs.
I was going to say worn out sandals.
Campfires. Campfires will always be popular, mate.
Plague and drought.
Plague had not been invented yet, but drought was well on its way. What was popular in the 2nd century?
Pretty much everything that was popular in the 1st century.
Remodeling coliseums.
Those things were big.
Gilded aqueducts.
Sandals with 2 layers of leather.
So that you don't have the worn out sandal problem.
Taxes.
Naval ships.
What was not popular in the 2nd century?
Pretty much everything that wasn't popular in the 1st century.
Taxes.
Certain people of leadership.
Broken phalanxes.
Shields with spikes.
Not properly put together 16-man tortoise formations.
And we're up to the 3rd century. Boy, are we speeding along through history right now. What was popular in the 3rd century?
Leather shoes with strap buckles.
Everything that was popular in the 2nd century. Taxes.
Those were, interesting times. Let's, why don't we, skip ahead a couple centuries?
Okay. Can anybody think of anything in the 4th century?
No.
5th century?
Besides taxes, nothing.
Okay. 6th century?
Taxes.
Taxes. Oh, and you know what else? We had the Pope by that time.
Okay, the Pope. Then...
you know what else was popular?
What?
Crusades.
Anybody? 7th century?
No other than taxes.
8th?
Nah. Taxes. Just taxes.
9th century?
Nah, just taxes. In dark colors.
I mean, we're all basing this off of European history, right? Because there was a ton of stuff going over in Asia.
We don't get to talk about fireworks because there's a fire ban right now in Colorado.
Oh, okay.
What did you say, Courtney?
Dark colors were in.
When did they start?
About the 3rd century.
And how long do they go?
To the 21st century.
So really, dark colors have been in ever since about the 3rd century till about now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Thank you, New York, for keeping the Dark Ages alive.
I mean, when you have a giant cluster of concrete buildings, it's all gray.
Okay, so we're going to pick it up where?
The 12th century.
All right, what was popular in the 12th century?
Taxes.
Well, the Gutenberg Press came out.
The Gutenberg Press. First book ever printed?
The Bible.
Nice. And we've devolved all the way down to...
Comic books.
Wow, comic books.
Did they make a Xerox copier that same century?
No, but they had guys put a quarter into the Gutenberg Press and then it would come down and make another copy. Come on down to Crazy Ivan's Bogus Noogies.
We've got noogies of all shapes and sizes.
These aren't real noogies.
They're fake.
This week's special is...
A noogie using the rib cage of a mammoth.
Why settle for real noogies when you can get Crazy Ivan's bonus noogies?
Get them for your kids.
Get them for your boss.
Get them for your rich uncle so that he writes you into his will.
It's the Noogie Wonderland of Idaho.
We've got noogies you haven't even heard of.
Lego noogies.
Takes out dandruff.
Lawnmower noogies.
Classic.
And our most popular bogus noogie,
The industrial weed eater noogie.
the perfect gift for the man who has everything.
So come on down to Crazy Ivan's
Bogus Noogies today.
Music's playing up and down the block.
This is Crazy Russian Dad. You're listening to Comedy Parenting Radio. In Soviet Russia, homework do you.
It's a little piece of paradise way out here in the woods. There's always something going on down in the trailer hood.
What was not popular in the 1200s?
taxes.
Shoes that pinch your feet.
Oh, I hate those. Anything else that was not popular in the 12th century?
There were rumors of a plague.
But it wasn't fully developed yet, right?
The rat population became endangered, so they couldn't kill any rats as well.
Wait, but there were thousands of rats.
In the 14th century, what was popular?
Crusades. We shall reclaim the Holy Land crusades. Also taxes, even on people that lived in the Holy Land.
People living in the forest.
They were popular?
Yeah?
To escape taxes, yeah.
Is this the Robin Hood era?
Eh.
And Little John? And Friar Tuck?
Yeah.
Why did they call him Friar Tuck?
'Cause he was a friar.
And he tucked all the food away.
He was Gordon Ramsay's great-great-grandfather.
Castles were really popular.
Oh, my word.
Yeah. Castles were in full swing.
It was a good time to be a real estate agent.
Yeah, but each castle was kept in a family for generation upon generation, so it was only good for about a summer. The housing market is still bad.
Kind of tight back then.
Trapdoors.
Paper was very much better then, so that's a popular thing.
Fireplaces, massive fireplaces in the living room was a big thing now.
You could now roast a cow inside of your house.
Baroque music.
Why didn't they fix it?
I'm speechless.
What was not popular then?
Fiddles.
Taxes.
Tight-fitting powdered wigs.
Let's fast forward to the 16th century. What was popular in the 1600s?
Wow, that was quite a jump.
Birthday cakes.
Pinata prototypes.
Taxes.
And taxes.
The piñatas back then were an effigy of the king.
Everybody wanted to go to your birthday party. What happened when you hit the piñata?
Money fell out.
What was popular in the 17th century?
Pirates.
Yes, and pirate ships.
Pirates weren't even popular. They were unpopular.
Back then they were like the homeless people of nowadays.
It was like if every homeless man was a terrorist.
Brigs and cannons and men of wars, which are big.
They were popular with the pirates. They were not popular with the regular people.
They were quite a bit of a talk between the kings and queens, and that's why they hired buccaneers to go kick them.
There was a difference between buccaneers and pirates. The buccaneers were the good guys, even though they basically did the same thing as the pirates.
They were just on the side of the king.
Yeah, and they stole from other countries. Hopefully not themselves.
Also, France was a big thing.
Ooh, everybody spoke French.
Hon hon baguette.
Especially in the French court.
You are a court.
Off with his head. What was not popular in the 1700s?
Taxes.
Cutlasses.
Heretics.
Sea monsters.
Why didn't they just invent heretic repellent?
They did. It was called the Spanish Inquisition.
Did I mention we have new listeners from Chandler, Arizona? Is there anything else that was really not popular back in the 17th century?
Tight-fitting shoes that fall apart and have double leather.
Okay, and now we're rolling into the 18th century. What was popular?
Wooden shoes.
Freedom.
America.
George Washington.
French Revolution.
Cherry trees.
Beaver hats.
Wait, tell me about the beaver hats.
They were hats made out of beaver. You walked around with it on your head and it would slap your back. Give you moral support. It's a Louisiana purchase.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
That was Davy Crockett.
No!
He bought the whole Louisiana all by himself?
Yes.
Lewis and Clark.
Yeah, they were in on it. Lewis and Clark paid for the Louisiana Purchase.
Lewis and Clark was Lewis and Clark. I forgot what I was going to say.
That was insightful.
What did Lewis say to Clark when they finally got to the Pacific Ocean?
What?
Long time no see. Did I mention that we have new listeners from Bilston, United Kingdom?
My last gold dollar is gone. My last gold dollar is gone. I hate to leave you, Kate, but it's getting kind of late.
Sure, humans can be a little weird at times, but take it from me, I'm a dog. And a person is about the best thing that can happen to a shelter pet. So if you want to learn how you can be that person, get down to your local pet shelter or visit theshelterpetproject.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
We're losing him, doctor.
Quick, administer CPR.
Cardiopulmonary resuscitation?
No, silly. Comedy Parenting Radio.
Oh, the work was hard and the wages low. Leave her, Johnny, leave her. I guess it's time for us to go. And it's time for us to leave her.
Then there was the 19th century with the War of 1812 where America declared war on Britain.
No. Hey, Joshua.
What?
When was the War of 1812? I should add. We have a contest for you. When was the War of 1812?
Send $20 with your answer to...
Our P.O. Box at blah, 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 blah.
Okay, what was not popular in the 18th century?
Taxes.
Scalpings.
Colt pistols. The Alamo.
Tea.
I thought they liked tea.
No, they
Then we
hated
are
tea.
completely off.
They chunked it overboard.
Oh.
It smelled like taxes.
Anything else they didn't like in the 18th century?
King George.
The fact that there wasn't any electricity.
Yeah, how are you going to run a revolution without electricity?
With a key, apparently. And a kite.
And a kite.
Wasn't it tied to a piano?
Yes.
How did he ever get that piano up in the air? And one more thing that was not popular in the 18th century.
Smudgy spectacles.
All right, moving along to the 19th century. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Conestoga wagons.
Cowboys and Indians.
Ending slavery.
Davy Crockett. Abraham Lincoln.
Grass seed.
Cow pies.
Colorado.
Gold.
California.
Less taxes.
And the invention of a car.
Colt pistols.
The invention of the 1911.
What was not popular in the 18th century?
Cannonballs.
Indian reservations.
Summer vacations in the Hamptons without mosquito repellent.
The Alamo.
Snakebite.
The Oregon Trail.
Your party has died of dysentery.
Kit Carson, Davy Crockett,
Brim Ginger.
Buffalo Bill.
Annie Oakley.
Beaver pelts. Mountain Man rendezvous.
Oh, yes.
They still have those, you know.
Those are really popular. Great place to have some good time and definitely not be cheated out of the pelts that you just got in a poker game.
Cheated out of the pelts you just got. Tick-tock, tick-tock. We're in the 20th century. What was popular?
The invention of the motorbike.
For a while, nationalism was popular.
Gold teeth.
The beginning of the modern assembly line.
Betty Crocker.
Henry Ford.
57 Chevys. Did I mention that we have new listeners from Ufa, Russia?
We just got some new listeners from Russia, and we've lost them now.
They liked our show for about 20 seconds.
Yeah, the Russians have time machines. They've already listened to this. The moon landing was fun.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Ooh. Bugs Bunny.
Afros.
Weird baggy pants.
Disco.
Bee Gees Staying Alive.
And what was not popular in the 20th century?
Taxes.
Bad phone connections. Long lines at the gas station.
Long lines at the DMV.
The DMV period.
Yeah.
Okay, you've been listening to Comedy Parenting Radio. What's popular and not popular in the last 2,000 years? You obviously have some new things that you've learned about today if you listen to the show. And why would you?
Unless you don't live under a rock like us.
I want to thank you guys for coming into the studio today.
Our pleasure.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
And when you guys go,
Yeah?
can you take this entire set of encyclopedias off my desk and put them back on the shelf?
Oh, they're real popular.
Bye-bye.
Are you sure out of anybody we're qualified to tell what's popular and what's not popular? I mean, yeah, have you seen us, Dad?